what a Democratic Senate means in part is it means George Barker being the chair of the Rehab and Social Services Committee. Oh, It means George Barker as the chair of the Education and Health Subcommittee on Professions.
And he's in charge of the ABC agents too.
Yeah, that means that all the we'll solve all the ABC problems pretty quickly, and it also means that we'll work on things like updating our liquor laws. So, but on a personal note, George sits about 3 desks over from me in the Senate, and they talk about. I'm not going to make your head too big, but they talk about Thomas Jefferson as knowing everything, and I think of George as the Senate's Thomas Jefferson because on any bill that's in the Senate, whether it's come through a committee that he sits on or not, whether it's his bill or not, you can go over to George and say, hey, I know this about the bill and that, but tell me about the nuance of this. And he's got it. He's got it. And you can ask him that when he's not walking around Capitol Square with a stack of folders this big with every bill that he's introducing, most of them passing. So without further ado, Senator George Barker.
And thank all of you for being here today. It's great to have this kind of turnout. Alex and others from Lee District, we're glad to see all of you out helping with the campaigns this year. All of us for re-election this year. And we have actually had some people from Alexandria here. So Alexandria citizens that are here today, we thank you very much for coming down. So actually, Adam and I were at an event in Alexandria today, this morning on North Washington Street. A campaign event that was put on by a number of people from Alexandria, helping out a candidate who's from Loudoun County, who's running for the House of Delegates and has a very good chance. That's part of how we're going to make progress and continue to win this year. And some of the people that we're helping in that were people who, in 2007, came down to Springfield and worked in our office to help me get elected at a time when I didn't represent them. So, those kinds of things that make a difference. I also want to, oh, my wife's back over there. Okay, want to thank my wife, Jane. Hey, Jane. Who's back there taking a couple of pictures for all our help and support. Jane, just last weekend, I drove her back from Massachusetts, where she'd been for 7 weeks. The house was not in too bad shape. There were a few things that needed to be done, but she did a great job helping her mother, who had hip replacement surgery. And helping her, and so that was why she was up there for an extended period of time. And also my daughter-in-law, Majuba, right here. So and her daughter, my granddaughter, is now a big 2nd grader. And so let me tell you, now she thinks she knows everything. She's in charge. She's got all the confidence to get things done. But certainly we appreciate everybody being here and helping out on the campaign. We do have a serious contest again. The Republicans have done a poll. They decided they think they can win. They tried that in 2007 and they thought they were going to win. They tried it in 2011. They thought they were going to win. So we need to make sure that we get the same result this time. But they are making a major investment into this race. So it's going to be an interesting, tight race, and we can't take anything for granted. The candidate that we're running against is someone who did run once before for the House of Delegates, actually in an overwhelmingly Democratic district, and lost by only 16 votes. I plan on winning by more than 16 votes. I don't want to sort of be sweating out the recount on things, which is what had to happen in 2009 when he ran before. So we know we have a serious contest. We know that we're one of the races where the Republicans think they at least have a chance to be able to take a seat. They're desperate for any Democratic seat that they can win, and there are only a couple of us around the entire state that they have any chance at. We're down 19 to 21 in the Senate, as Adam was referencing there. We have very good chances at, one seat we definitely should win down in the Richmond area, which as long as we hold all our seats will get us back in the majority, because that'll get us to 20, and as long as Ralph Northam's lieutenant governor, we will be able to have the tie-breaking vote go our way. But we're trying to win some others, so we're not dependent solely on who's going to be elected lieutenant governor in 2 years. And we do have 3 other seats that we have chances to win. So we're working hard in all of those, and we do have a good chance. And let me tell you, I've been in the majority in the Senate, I've been in the minority in the Senate, and I decided I like being in the majority a little more than That's right. But anyway, it's glad to have all of you here. Thank you very much for helping out for the campaign. We got about 7-8 weeks to go, I guess. And we're going to work it hard all the way to the end, which is what we have to do to make sure we win again. And with your help and support, which is how we won in 2007, which is how we won in 2011, we'll be able to do it again this year.
My duty today is to introduce one of the most important political figures in Virginia, and really in our county for many decades now. A person who's been extraordinarily successful in her job, Sharon Bulova. You know, when you're in charge, she doesn't even have a Republican fund. Do you have a Republican?
Actually,
kind of.
Arthur Purvis.
Arthur Purvis. You know, every time I see Arthur, I have about a 30-minute little debate with him. He's a fun guy. But but I don't think anyone wants Arthur Purvis to take the county in the direction he wants to take us. But Sharon has been, before she was chairman, if you don't know this, she has chaired the budget committee. The budget is the hardest thing that elected officials have to do when they're running something. And she was so good at it before she was chairman that she's kept that role even after she's become chairman. And she's got an extraordinary consensus and build a consensus about what we should be doing here in Fairfax County. And we continue to lead the country in many things. We lead the state in so many areas, but we lead the country. We've got to continue that. We have problems here because our school system continues to grow, and a lot of the kids come to our schools not as prepared as your kids would be when they go to kindergarten, and we need to work on that and make sure our schools are well funded, and I know that's a high priority for our Board of Supervisors. And Sharon is the person who knows how to get that done, and I'm so glad that she is going to be our chairman again. So let's hear it for Sharon Bulova.
It is so important and so critical that we have the kind of working relationship and the kind of partnership that we do in Fairfax County with our members of the General Assembly. We could not get things done without that partnership. And Fairfax County is an exceptional place, a tolerant and a welcoming place. And it's important that we work hard to make sure that that continues to be the case. Making sure that we're investing in education, making sure that we're investing in public safety, making sure that we invest in human services, making sure that we invest in the quality of life services and programs like the libraries and our parks, and all of the things that we enjoy in Fairfax County, and a clean environment. Those are the bread and butter of local government and state government. And working together, we're going to continue to be able to deliver. That and transportation, and a lot is going on. Thanks to the General Assembly for infusing new money into our transportation program. And so you are going to be seeing a lot going on. You already are. Already on Richmond Highway, you're seeing Kingstown Village Parkway. There's just a lot going on, and a lot will be going on, and a lot will be going on the maintenance front as well. We hear about potholes, and that needs to be a priority. I would just like to thank everybody for helping and for being with us, and it's going to be an exciting campaign. This is local, state, everything that affects you on the local level. The elected officials are running for election or re-election now, and so we need to make sure that we've got the support that we are going to need in order to make sure that we can continue to move Fairfax County and to move the Commonwealth of Virginia and Northern Virginia continue to move in the right direction. You've already met Diana Trim. Diana's in my office, and then Diana clocks out and sits at my kitchen table helping me make phone calls for fundraising, et cetera, et cetera. And a person also who works in my office, my chief of staff, is also responsible for injecting some adorableness into the crowd, the two little guys who are running around. So thank you for bringing the two little ones. With that, I am going to introduce my colleague on the Board of Supervisors, Jeff McKay. And let me just say a few words about Jeff. I have a good board, and many board members do a lot of hard work, and board members specialize in different areas. Jeff McKay is the most critical person on our board, and he's responsible for transportation. He chairs our transportation committee. He's responsible for legislation, our legislative committee. Jeff is indispensable, and he is so smart, and he is so capable and so good. And Jeff is stepping forward to lead up a coalition and an effort for us to improve education in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So members of the General Assembly, and it's seen a lot of us, because we really are going to be putting on a full court press to try to improve transportation, or education this time, funding for K through 12, and that is going to be a #1 priority. So with that, I'm going to introduce, turn the mic over to Jeff McKay. Jeff is the greatest colleague, a wonderful friend, someone who we all can count on. He really delivers for the Lee District. I never have to worry. He's always taking care of his community. So welcome to Jeff McKay.
I just want to start off by saying a few things. First, there's going to be a lot of negativity in this race. I've already heard some of it. And we've been through some tough economic times as a nation. But there is no better place to have lived for the last 8 years in the country than Fairfax County. And there are not many places in the country, in fact, no other place, jurisdiction of our size, has safer communities than we have in Fairfax County. We have a coveted AAA bond rating that people all over the country salivate over. We have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the nation. We invest in infrastructure and in our people in ways that don't happen other places. And we have robust job growth and some of the largest percentages of minority-owned businesses anywhere in the country in Fairfax County. And so when you hear this negativity out there, these things I just said, these statistics, don't happen by accident. They happen because we send the right people to the Board of Supervisors. That's why they happen. And there is no election more important to the day-to-day things that our community cares about than these off-year elections. As Kate Hanley famously has said to people, unfortunately, this is the year when everyone's on the ballot and almost no one votes. And that's sad. It's sad in a lot of ways. But what the Republicans have done this year is they've doubled down on that and decided in some races where we have well-regarded elected officials who are doing the right thing and getting work done, we're just not going to run people in those races in hopes that maybe the Democrats won't turn out and we can sneak a few people in. So they're betting against you telling your neighbors why this election is important. They're betting against you turning out to vote. They're betting against you going out knocking on doors, making phone calls, and they're hoping to sneak a few people in by accident. I mean, that's their strategy. What a terrible strategy to have. You know, our strategy is very different. Our strategy is we're going to work our tails off to make sure people know there's a really important election coming up and you all have to participate, you have to get involved, you have to engage, and you all are the keys to success. You're the ones that talk to your neighbors, talk to your civic groups, talk to your friends. We need that. We need to build up momentum coming into this election to make sure our folks turn out in droves. Because if there's one thing in Lee District we know, is when people in Lee District vote, Democrats win, period. So it's up to us. We've got to do that. We've got to get out and do that effort. But they're going to be out there too, going to as many things, participating in as many opportunities we have to get our message out there and tell people what our message is, which is a positive message. It's about investing in Fairfax County. It's about being inclusive. It's about encouraging citizen engagement and participation and making the right decisions so that this will continue to be the best place in the country to live. And it's up to us to make sure that happens. Lastly, I want to say to you know, we mentioned Sharon's opponent earlier, and Mark talked about talking to him for about 30 minutes, which is about 29 minutes and 50 seconds longer than I'm willing to talk, because he absolutely has the wrong ideas. And his ideas are that if you don't invest in Fairfax County, that we'll continue to excel, bottom line. And the reality is we're great because we make our investments in parks and libraries and human services and transportation and education. And the last thing for our state partners who are here, as Sharon alluded to our efforts on education, we thank them because we wouldn't have transportation improvements happening if it weren't for the Democrats in the General Assembly who voted to support transportation funding. We wouldn't have the improvements that we're making now. So that's the effort we need for education now. We need to shift our attention to education funding. Our kids are our most important resource in this county. And our schools are the #1 priority of the Board of Supervisors. So we need to first make sure we re-elect Tammy Koufax, our lead district school board member. And we need to make sure that we elect our Democratic at-large candidates on the school board. And in these other districts, we've got to win these school board seats because we need to have a strong Democratic school board to invest in education. But we also need to have more Democrats in the General Assembly because the Democrats down there are not afraid to invest in education. The reason why we're not getting a better return on our investment is because the Republicans in the General Assembly don't want to invest in public education. They want to divert funds into other priorities. We need more numbers down there to get better education resources in Fairfax County that our kids vitally need. So that's why we work together, and that's why we need Democrats on the school board. We need Democrats on the Board of Supervisors. And by the way, our board is a 10-member board. So a couple seats here and there, and all of a sudden you could change the entire direction of this county, which we can't afford to do. And we need more seats in Richmond of Democrats, especially in some of these strategic races that we can really win this year, change the numbers down there, and change the optics moving forward. So thank you all for coming out today. Thank you all for what you're doing. Please share the word. Let's go on and make sure that everyone standing here make sure they win on election day, but let's also take over some of these seats that belong in Democrats' hands and move this Commonwealth and county forward. Thank you all very much.